Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm CJ Mack, and welcome back with another week of the Arkansas Football Recruitment Report with your very own Otis Kirk. Otis, how's it going out there today, man? Last night was
Man,
very crazy in the baseball game with that weather.
man, I tell you what, it was Friday night. We had raccoons last night. It was back
For a long
weather.
night.
Today is weather. I don't know if there's any raccoons. Probably some ducks or something out there today. This weather, man, it's more weather for ducks or something, or frogs or something than raccoons today, man.
It's some type of animal out there today. There's a lot of rain that came down today too. But let's get into some football. Otis, Mattlanders, the wide receiver, the transfer from Toledo in Georgia. How special is this guy?
He is very special. He's 6'5", 220. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm sorry, 6'5", 200, not 220, but I'm gonna tell you,
200.
that height is legit. I talked to him the other day, and I'm gonna tell you, he is big. You know what? He played here against Arkansas
Oh,
in 2020 in Sam's very first game at Arkansas. He caught two passes for 27 yards against Arkansas that day. I asked Matt the other day, I said, when you were playing in that game, did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think I'll be playing again, but it'll be on the other sideline? He said, no, I
nah.
didn't. I'm not going to. But no, yeah. Last year at Toledo, he started off, they weren't really playing him much.
Right.
And at the end, they started playing in the last 4 or 5 games. He had 20 catches, 514 yards, and 5 touchdowns. I'm telling you, Arkansas wants to get this kid. That's exactly what Sam likes in a receiver, is the good size. And
Yeah.
he's someone that can go up and win that jump ball at 50-50 jump ball. He's physical receiver. And he's got deceiving speed. In my story on Pig Trail Nation Hogville, they can read it. CJ, it's got a video in there. I don't remember if it's a 90 or 95-yard touchdown, but it's either 90 or 95 yards. He had
Wow.
a touchdown this year. And I mean, it's legit. I
That's a
mean,
bomb.
he catches it and you can see it. I had a lot of comments about that. Everybody was saying, man, that's legit.
That's legit.
But it is legit. He's down to Arkansas, Auburn, and Miami of Florida.
Okay.
He's from Florida. So I don't know how much that Miami would make a difference. Auburn recruited him really hard out of high school. Where Arkansas comes in on this deal is, I don't think they offered him out of high school, but Sam Pittman and Scott Fountain and some of the other guys, they were at Georgia when he was there.
All right.
And he kept referring to familiar faces the other day. Familiar faces here in Arkansas. And so Sam Pittman knows him, has a relationship with him. And so I like Arkansas's chances, but I mean, we'll see. If
Right.
you pinned me down and said you got to make a pick, I'd pick Arkansas. But we'll see. I mean,
Right.
I don't think it's a slam dunk, but I would say Arkansas on him. We'll see. I mean, they really want him. I'll tell you that, CJ. He's a priority for Arkansas. I mean, obviously, they've studied the portal and they've got 2 scholarships left. They'd love to sign Mattlanders and an interior defensive lineman. It's what they'd love to do. Now, I mean, you don't always get what you want, but that's what Arkansas would love
That's
to do.
true.
Is is sign Landers and then maybe get a defensive tackle or nose
Yeah.
guard type somewhere. And we talked about the Morris Joseph kid on here last week, and he still has not reaffirmed his commitment to Georgia Tech. So, as I said last week, never say never on those dudes, man, because they'll fool you every time. As soon as you say never, he'll prove you, he'll make you a liar. So anyway, that may still be something up in the air there as well. I
Yeah.
tried to call him. I tried to call Joseph this week, and it went straight to it went straight to he's not the person to this phone's not accepting calls. So no luck there. But I did try. It's
Right.
not from lack of trying, believe me.
Gotta try. Never say never, though. Like you said, those top picks that he has, what's better than a pick at the University of Arkansas? And it's always good to add a wide receiver to that depth over here in Fayetteville. Now, it's always good to add that running back room. Coach Smith and those guys got a deep running back room here at the University of Arkansas. And Jordan Louis, another guy from Georgia. I mean, those Georgia boys are rolling. They're looking to come to Fayetteville, right?
Sam likes those kids, and I tell you what, there's a reason like this one. He's from Norcross, Meadow Creek, and he's actually from Alabama. He moved to Georgia. He's going to play this season there. He's originally from Alabama, but Arkansas offered him recently But last year, he rushed 76 times for 721 yards and 11 touchdowns, had 54 catches, 489 yards, and 6 touchdowns, returned 18 kickoffs. Four of them went for
goodness.
four of them went for touchdowns. I mean,
He's a big
what
threat.
you're getting with Jordan Louis, you're getting a complete back there.
Yeah.
Schools like Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Louisville, UCL have all offered him. He's got 11 offers. He may have gotten some more this week, but I know when I talked to him, he had 11 offers. But he's a kid that I put in on my predictions. I did 3 predictions of recruits, and he was one that I predicted to go to Arkansas. We'll pick Arkansas eventually. And he retweeted it, liked it, and everything. So he wasn't like, you're wrong, So we'll see. But Jimmy Smith is his lead recruiter. By the way, Kenny Guyton is the lead recruiter on Mattlanders, and Deke Adams on Morris Joseph. But Jimmy Smith's the lead recruiter on Jordan Louis. He's a legend down here in Georgia, especially, he was a high school coach, won a state championship or 2 there, and then he got into college, coached one of the schools down there a year, and then came to Arkansas with Coach Pittman and has steadily just made that running back room very deep. And I mean, they've got some talent in that room, and he's on some talent too. It's not just Jordan Louis. There's a lot of there's a lot of running backs that are on, and we can't forget they've got a commitment 2024 from Braylon Russell, who I think is the best player in the state in 2024, the running back. So, kind of mixed up where he's going to be at school right now because he was looking to go to Little Rock Christian. Don't know how that's going to work out or not. He was at Hot Springs Lakeside, so we'll see how that works out. But anyway, they do have a commitment in 2024. They got a deep room, but Jordan Louis is not scared of the competition. He is very well open. And the one thing that he always dreamed of, I will say this, CJ, he didn't follow any particular team growing up. He said there was no particular team, but he said he always dreamed of playing in the SEC.
We got some traction there.
Yeah, right now Arkansas is the only SEC team that's offered him. I think that will change. He moved. I told you he's got behind some in recruiting to a degree. I don't know if 11 offers is getting behind, but no, he'll get some more offers from the SEC school. But I think Arkansas being the first one may have some bearing with this kid. Plus, like I said, man, Jimmy Smith's got so much. He's got some power down there. He's got some little swag down there in Georgia. Those people love him down there, and they love Sam, And so we'll see how that plays out. But it's going to be interesting to watch. Oh, by the way, Jordan Louis is 2023. The kids I talked about, those transfer kids, are 2022. They would play in the fall, but Jordan Louis is 2023. I know it gets confusing to people because we're dealing with like
a lot of numbers
right here on the show today. We're dealing with 3 different classes right here. So, we had 2022, 2023, and the next one's going to be 2026.
That's a lot of numbers. 2020, anytime you get to 2000 over that, I mean, numbers just start floating over your heads.
It taxes my little old brain, I can assure you, CJ. I mean, I'm a mistake waiting to happen. So I
gotta start just adding numbers up and stuff. It's just calculating.
I have to do that Jethro Bodine School of Ciphering, sometimes on this stuff.
It was a lot of numbers. But Coach was at the University of Georgia for some time, so he's probably used to those Georgia boys. And another quarterback that he just had one committed, this past week or a week or so, and he has another one up his sleeves, Can Archer. And matter of fact, I just heard through the grapevine that he doubled his offers
this week. 2026. I just said we'll go to 2026. We went 2022, 23. Now we're at 2026. If you're trying to translate that in your brain, that's an 8th grader.
Yeah, 26.
He had Arkansas, Michigan, and Missouri for the longest. Those were his 3 offers. This week, in the last few days, not just the last week, but the last few days, Texas A&M, Hawaii, and Arizona have offered him. So he went from 3 offers to 6. What's that? 3 SEC offers: Arkansas, Missouri, and A&M. So it'd be 3
as an
3
8th
SEC,
grader,
whatever Hawaii in, whatever conference they're in. One Big 12 and one Pac out there, Arizona. Pac-12 out there. So, Pac-10 out there, and Big 12. I mean, I'm not the Big 10. Sorry.
All these numbers. They come floating up again.
Well, I told you, I'm a mistake waiting to happen, man. But Big 10, Pac-12, and then the SEC's got 3 in Hawaii. So he's got 6 offers, and this we had him on here one time. I think maybe Nick was the host then, but had him on this show. And I'm telling you what, 8th grade player, this Kane is very mature. He just, every time he goes somewhere, he gets an award when he plays. It's not just hype on this. It's not just hype on him. Their spring game at Greenwood is May the 26th, I believe.
Okay.
And on a Thursday night. Yeah, May the 26th. And so, that's going to be something worth watching down there. And, we talked about Cody Taylor recently on the show too. Another 8th grader moved into Greenwood. They're not getting some talent. They've had talent for a long time at Greenwood. They've always got great coach. Yeah, they've always got great coaches. They've got great players, and the thing about them, they've got a great system. They start those kids real early in their career with one offense, one defense. They learn it all the way up, and when they get up there at that level, they plug them in. They don't have to teach them all over again. Great system they've got going down there. I'm telling you, they know how to do it in Greenwood.
Yeah, they must doing something right because those 8th graders sound like they're eating real good down there, getting some offers early, and they still got 4 more years of high school football.
Yeah, got a whole high school ahead of him, man. He did play 9th grade last year and 8th grade, but he'll play. Yeah. I'm assuming he'll play varsity high school this year. Kane, I'm talking about. So it's going to be fun year, and there's you don't always think, and not always can a young player handle that kind of pressure, but Kane can. Very mature, like I said. He is more like somebody, maybe a senior or something when you talk to him. He's more mature than you would think at that age. It's not like, I don't think the offers will go to his head. I really don't. You never know for sure, but I really don't think that'll be the case this time. And it does sometimes, but not on him, I don't think.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing him play in the future, man. Let's get to this last topic. Let's talk about some of the prospects that we talked about, and a couple of more that will be visiting the University of Arkansas here in the next couple of weeks. Who's coming down here to Fayetteville, Otis?
June is going to be busy, CJ. That's when they're going to start their official
visits. This is a fun time.
Yes, sir. You'll have camps and you'll have official visits. So I'm going to be working around the clock here. But Connor Stroh, Frisco Wakeland, somebody we've talked about, a big offensive lineman, Frisco Wakeland, will be in here in June for a visit. Middle of June, he's got Florida, and we've got Auburn. Florida is the first week in June. June the 10th is Arkansas. Okay. And then 17th, he'll be at A&M. He wraps it up on the 24th with his 5th and final visit. That'll be the Texas Longhorns. I think Arkansas is definitely in the hunt. Will they get him? I don't know about that. I know there's some people feel Arkansas, some think A&M because he's got real strong family ties there. I personally think Texas might be more of a challenge than A&M on him. I think Texas is going to pull some people there. So. I'm not saying he'll go to Texas, but he really likes Texas. And they've done a good job recruiting him, as has Sam and Cody Kendi. But I think they're definitely Arkansas. Well, I know Arkansas is in the hunt. Another lineman who will be here that same weekend is Madden Sink, or a 4-star, probably a guard, more of an interior lineman from Douglasville, South Paulding, down in Georgia, back to Georgia. And by the way, all these official visits we're talking about are 2023. Madden, it's got Arkansas June the 10th. I just said Michigan State will be on June the 3rd. Right. Then he goes to Louisville on June the 17th. He's a 4-star. I think he's about 6'4", 310, I believe. Got a ton of offers. So I think, they'll have those 2 offensive linemen. By that time, they'll have other visitors coming in. But that's 2 standout offensive linemen that Cody Kendi would like to just add right there on the spot. He's got a couple with the kid from Tennessee and Joey from Bentonville, but he'd love to add these 2 to the group. Coming in later in the month, Robert Stafford. He's from Florida, and get this, he's 5'11", 170. He's got over 40 offers, CJ.
Wow.
Over 40
offers. A lot of offers.
40 and 45 offers for this Robert Stafford kid. And somebody asked him, where does he play? You list him as an athlete. I said, anywhere he wants to. Anywhere he wants to, man. I mean, when you've got that many offers, somebody knows something.
Somebody knows something. He's doing something right.
He asked me, I don't know about Coach Pittman to tell him, but I'm going to tell him where you want to play, man. My man, Mr. Stafford. So I'll tell him where you want to play, buddy. But no, I mean he can play a lot of positions. I mean, he's very fast. Got not the biggest kid at 5'11", 170, but obviously, like I said, when that many schools offer you, you're doing something right. You got something going for you.
Oh
So
yeah.
he's going to be fine. He's coming in. There's a couple of Carson Dean will be here June 24th. I tell you Carson Dean's from down in Texas, Carrollton Hebron High School. They've sent Zach Rogers, Dietrich Wise Jr., maybe some other kids up there. But I know those two were from that school.
Right.
But Carson's committed to Arkansas. I'm going to tell you who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Drew Sanders. Carson is super fast. He's 6'4", 235, and he's exactly what Arkansas is looking for in linebackers right now. Got that real speed, legit. Run some sprints and track, CJ.
Okay.
At 6'4", 235.
It's a big fellow.
That will be his one and only official visit to Arkansas. I mean, he said that's it. They did great job. Not a good job. They did a great job recruiting him. He visited here. They offered him. He committed the very next week. He almost got committed before he got home. Almost. There's a couple other kids I know of that's committed to other schools right now. They'll be in here as well. But one, committed to Big 12, and then one up Big 10. So we'll see how those kids, if they really materialize and visit. But right now they're scheduled to visit Arkansas. Some kids committed to other schools. So, but we'll just leave it at that on them. But anyway, that's some official visits. There'll be more in the coming days and weeks if we do this, and as I write about them on the official visits. But Arkansas is sitting at 11 commitments right now, I believe, and in 2023. And so we'll see how that plays out. But June is usually a very good month for commitments, because not only do you have these official visits starting June the 3rd weekend,
right,
you have camps going on. There's about 6 or 7, 8 camps, whatever they've got.
They look forward to those camps too every year too. They look forward to.
Oh yeah, yeah, and there'll be a lot of offers, a lot of commitments.
Right.
There's gonna June is going to be probably the busiest. I'm gonna tell you, the way they've got this recruiting set up now, it used to you'd work your rear off in December and January. Now June is probably the busiest month. June is
the hottest time of the year. It's time to get to work.
Yeah, it keeps you bouncing. June does, but you never come up short with something to talk about and write about. So that's good too. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's some of the kids that will be coming in. These are all top-notch kids that we talked about today. I mean, these are the type of kids Arkansas would love to have. All of them have got offers we've talked to. So, I mean, we've talked about I guess that's about as good of assurance that they want you as there is. Say, we've offered you a scholarship. So, but I just think it's incredible the job that they're doing recruiting over there, CJ. I mean, they took that program that was basically the laughing stock of the SEC 3 or 4 years ago at 2-10, back to back, won one SEC game in 3 years,
right,
and they made it an elite program. And elite program in the SEC equals elite program nationally. They're getting a lot of respect from the national writers and stuff. I mean, people are not assuming. Well, that's going to be nobody's chalking up at a W. I guarantee you, even Nick Saban's not saying that's a W when we go to Fayetteville.
Oh no,
they know it's going to be a battle, and that's I think Sam Pittman made a quote last year. I think maybe one of the games he said, the days of us being killed is over with. It's equivalent of that. Days of us just getting murdered, is over with. So, I mean, Arkansas has really took off, and it's not just Sam Pittman. A lot of it's his Sam. I mean, he's the straw that stirs the drink, but it's also the staff. He's got a very good staff there, and they work hard. And one priority he has in each assistant is recruiting. If you don't recruit, you don't stay around Arkansas with Sam Pittman. It's just that simple. You don't recruit, you're gone. I mean, and they'll tell you that. Those assistants will tell you that. I mean, I've seen some of them gone because they didn't recruit like he wanted, or made promises they could get some players and didn't get them, and they're out of here, And I mean,
right,
but the results are showing on the field and in the on paper. I mean, right
Yeah.
now it's why all these commitments for 2023. It's basically on paper, but they've got all of them got good offers. I remember Sam talking about on signing day about how they're recruiting against better schools now than they were when they first come here. You don't see some of the lesser schools as much now as you did used to. They're recruiting kids at, well, like 43 offers, I mean, Mattlanders, we're talking Arkansas, Auburn, and Miami. I mean, those
Right.
are legit schools. Kid had played at Georgia, signed with Georgia out of high school, good enough to sign with the Bulldogs, and played there. Played 25 games for the Bulldogs. But we're talking about legit prospects. These are not just someone just throw names out there.
Yep.
These are legit prospects.
Coach has a lot of guys from all walks of life coming to Fayetteville. I'm looking forward to see these guys play, as well as those eighth graders that will be coming up and playing the next 4 years of high school. It should be very exciting. Otis, I appreciate you stopping by, man, for another week of Arkansas football recruiting report.
Okay,
Trail Nation.
CJ.
Thanks, Otis.
Thanks, man. Talk to you.